Rangers failed to get past league leaders. Hearts last night in what could potentially be the final nail in the coffin for Rangers' title hopes this season. Kris did not mince his words speaking about the Rangers players after the game. This is a must-watch. Let's break this down. Rangers ruined any chances they had of winning the league last night, in what was one of the most frustrating performances of the season. Although mathematically Rangers are not out of the race, it is now incredibly unlikely and would require both Celtic and Hearts to drop a huge amount of points over the next few games for Rangers to stand a chance. Kris, who was visibly furious after the game, did not hold back, claiming the Rangers players show no fight and have let everyone down. This was a real passionate rant from a true Rangers man. Passion which is lacking from the current crop of players at Ibrox. Have a watch of this.
You have to... Hearts are at the top of the table, and they've been at the top of the table now for a number of months. You have to expect that you're going to suffer in that second half. You're going to have to defend properly. You're going to have to see a team defend. And that's mentality. It's easy to say, when you're on the ball, everything's looking good and everything, but we've all played in teams where you have to suffer, you just have to dig in and get a result somewhere. That could have easily been Rangers today, but they didn't. They allowed Hearts to come back into the game. They didn't kill it at half-time, as I said. Then the second half, Hearts came out. Yeah, I think he's right to an extent in terms of Hearts going long and asking questions, but if that's where Rangers are vulnerable and they're weak, why would you not do it? You've got to then go and ask questions of the opposition. I thought Stuart Finlay the second half put balls in behind James Tavernier. We've seen him struggle to defend there in the past. So Hearts used that to their advantage. And you've got to give them credit, as I said, but for me, you have to suffer to win. And Rangers, they don't look as if the only thing they suffer is defeat. They don't fight. They're not together. They're not, as I said, the group was as low as it's ever been when Danny Rowe came in. But you don't get a trophy for getting back into a league. You have to then go and strike. And once again, Rangers have failed. Once they've got into that position where you think, we all sat here and said Rangers are favourite for the league a couple of weeks ago. Failed.
In other news, James Tavernier's future is beginning to take shape, and it's not following the path many initially expected. As Rangers prepare for a pivotal summer rebuild, their long-serving captain appears to be edging towards the exit, with a decisive move now looming on the horizon. But while links to the Premier League have generated headlines, the reality behind the scenes tells a very different story. At 34, Tavernier remains one of the most productive right-backs of his generation. His numbers at Rangers speak for themselves. Goals, assists, leadership, and consistency over an extended period. Few defenders in modern football have matched his attacking output, and even fewer have done so while carrying the responsibility of captaining a club with the expectations and pressure that come with Ibrox. Yet despite that remarkable track record, the next step in his career is being shaped less by reputation and more by timing. There has been no shortage of reported interest from England, with clubs across the Premier League loosely linked. Tottenham, in particular, have been mentioned as a potential destination. However, the reality is far more cautious. English sides are weighing up the risk-reward balance, and concerns around age are proving difficult to ignore. Tavernier will turn 35 early next season, and for clubs operating at the highest level, where long-term planning and resale value play a crucial role, that factor alone becomes a significant barrier. Even the prospect of signing him on a free transfer, which would typically increase appeal, hasn't been enough to shift that stance. Recruitment strategies in the Premier League have evolved rapidly in recent years, with a growing emphasis on younger profiles, high ceilings, and long-term squad building. In that context, a move for a veteran fullback, even one with Tavernier's pedigree, simply doesn't align with the direction many clubs are heading. That shift in market dynamics has opened the door elsewhere. And this is where the story takes a more intriguing turn. Clubs in the Middle East are now emerging as leading contenders for Tavernier's signature, with the financial power of the Saudi Pro League positioning them firmly at the front of the queue. For a player entering the final phase of his career, the appeal is obvious: a lucrative contract, a new challenge, and the opportunity to capitalize on years of elite-level performance. It's a move that has become increasingly common among experienced European players, And Tavernier fits the profile perfectly. Crucially, the lack of concrete movement from Premier League sides only strengthens that possibility. With no bidding war developing in England, Saudi clubs are able to operate with greater confidence, knowing they can offer a package that is unlikely to be matched elsewhere. For Tavernier, it becomes less about proving himself in England and more about securing the most rewarding final chapter of his career. That said, the Saudi Pro League isn't the only option on the table. Interest from across Europe continues to build, particularly in Greece and Turkey, where Tavernier has long been admired. These leagues offer a different kind of appeal: competitive football, passionate fan bases, and the chance to remain in a high-pressure environment similar to what he has experienced in Glasgow. Clubs in both countries have tracked him for years, and with his availability now a realistic prospect, they are ready to act. Panathinaikos are among those monitoring the situation closely, viewing Tavernier as a potential marquee addition who could bring both quality and experience to their squad. Meanwhile, interest linked to Rafa Benitez adds another layer of complexity. The experienced manager is believed to be keen on bringing Tavernier into his setup, recognizing the value he could offer both on and off the pitch. However, uncertainty surrounding managerial stability could ultimately complicate that pursuit, leaving the door open for rival clubs to step in. All of this leaves Tavernier at a crossroads. After years of loyalty and elite performance at Rangers, he now faces a decision that will define the closing stages of his career. Does he prioritize financial reward and embrace a move to Saudi Arabia? Or does he opt for a European challenge that keeps him in the intensity of continental competition? What feels increasingly clear is that a Premier League switch, once seen as a natural progression, is now unlikely to materialize. The landscape has shifted, and so too have the opportunities available to him. As the summer window approaches, Tavernier's situation is one to watch closely. A player who has given so much to Rangers is now on the brink of a new adventure, one shaped by ambition, timing, and the realities of modern football's transfer market. Wherever he lands, his legacy at Ibrox is already secured. The only question that remains is where the final chapter will be written. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.